Hello everyone, Don here again with the next update on the W.A.R. Corsair project. Alright, this long weekend I decided to work on the wings. I needed to get the wings prepped and ready for the slurry mix to fill in all the low spots. So I spent most of the day Friday doing that, or Saturday, excuse me. And then yesterday, Sunday, I took and sanded it all out. Got it all prepped for the epoxy wipe that I did today, as you can see. One of the things I needed to do on these is, just like on the back of the wing there, the back edge of the wing has to overlap the flaps a little bit. So that's what this little jog out here does. Comes out and covers the flaps, because the flaps have a real big radius on the top corner. So when they tuck up in there, the flaps will lay right flat smack underneath this. The spar of the flap is just on the front side of it. So I had to add 2 strips of fiberglass cloth on there, both sides, and then after that was done, I put a 3rd coat underneath and put a piece in from here out on both of these. So they're nice and solid. The epoxy is still gummy. I spent several hours. Problem with today was we had like 71 degrees and 86% humidity in the garage. So what I had to do is get everything ready and prepped. I run over town and got some fuel for my kerosene heater. And after I did an epoxy wipe, I threw the heater on, closed the door, just let her heat up. So I got out here the first time, it was like 90 degrees. And after half an hour, it still wasn't tacky enough to put the 2nd coat in. So I let her set for an hour, and then it seemed to do the trick. And then I did a 2nd wipe, and then the temperature outside slowly warmed up some. And then I was able to get 3 coats on. The 2nd coat dried fairly quick. This last coat is tacky, but it's pretty much set. So that's what I did over the 3 days. I was hoping to get farther. I was hoping to have it prepped and ready for paint, for primer. Because this primer, when I put it on, I have to spray it, let it dry, wet sand, or just sand it out with like some 220, and then I shoot the paint on. So I took and ordered some parts for the airplane from Aircrest Bruce. I needed some more microballoons, but I also ended up buying this extension. They had this nice little extension to hook on here. It's 3 inches. I already hooked it up to the throttle cable. It gives me plenty of room now to mount this where it was. I was going to be about 1 inch or so short. Bought me 100 cotter pins for locking all the hinge points for the flaps and everything. I got the larger countersunk screws to mount the cowling, and I got these little backer plates. As you can see, them little guys, those will get mounted on the back sides of this. I also ordered the screws, but the screws are still just a hair short. I'm going to need to get, these were 3/4, I need 7/8 to 1 inch. But they'll catch with just this little screw nut. But that's what it'll look like from the front, countersunk stainless. And then again, I'll be powder coating this black. So I got those. And then I ordered also a drill bit for plexiglass. This will be so when I get the windshield material and I have to drill and mount the plexiglass to the bows, I bought that. So, and then I also picked up a quart of flat black, just Rust-Oleum for right here in front of the windshield, as like I mentioned before. Gotta clean all the dust off of this thing, and this will get just brushed on, coated. Probably as I do it, I'll probably even run it back up in underneath here, because the instrument panel sits back in there, so I'll probably do this all in black. Also, just brush it on with a foam brush, and as you can see, the airplane is nice and dusty from all the sanding yesterday. So that's where I'm at. I'll give this thing a day or two to really set up good, and then it's just strictly hand sand. There's, like I said, 3 coats on there, 3 full coats of epoxy, squeegeed off, you know, as much as you can. And the idea is the epoxy will fill in all the little pinholes and low spots, and it does do a good job of that. So these wings turned out really nice. I don't have to didn't have to fill much. I didn't put it on very thick to begin with, so most of it gets sanded off is the idea. I'd already had some masking tape on this bottom edge all the way around the finished section so the epoxy won't run under and leave drips on there. So I had tape on there. I just peeled it off before I started the video just so it'd be easier to come off today. And then that'll all get sanded. And then when this gets painted, the dark paint is actually going to roll underneath. These will all be done in the same dark blue. This light blue on the bottom. So then once that's all done and painted, then one wing gets flipped over upside down, put the stencils on for the insignia. The other insignia goes on the top of the one wing. Let's see, it'll be the bottom of the right, top of the left. So there'll be an insignia on this one, top, and this one will get one on the bottom. And then one on each side of the fuselage. So I've been playing with my vinyl cutter, cutting out some stencils for a friend. He's a powered paraglider, and making him some stencils and learning how to use the software. But I've got all the stencils drawn up, ready to cut out. I just wanted to make sure I was using the machine properly and it was calibrated good, so when I cut them, they're going to be the correct size. Because there's 3 sheets per insignia, 4 insignias, 12 sheets. So, and that's going to take, 3 to 4 days to paint. Because you got to put one insignia on, one mask on, they call them paint mask. Paint the white, then you have to let that dry, take it off, put on a second one that is the blue for the circle, paint that, then your last one will be the red border. So it's going to be, like a minimum of 3 days just to do the insignias painting, because you're going to have to paint them, let them dry. So when you put the paint mask stencils on, you're not going to be peeling the paint off when you pull them. And it's a low-tack material, so as you can see, but before I can do any painting, I've got a nasty mess in here to clean again. So I'll have to push everything outside, vacuum up as much as I can, blow everything out before I'm ready to paint these things. So maybe next weekend I'll get the color on these. Spend the day Saturday, probably through the week here, I'll prep them, get them ready for the paint. And then hopefully next Saturday I'll be able to shoot the paint, primer on, and then Sunday sand it out and shoot the color. So, alright, it's a short video update for this week. I'm going to go ahead and take my epoxy in now because the nights are starting to get cool. It's dropping down in the low 60s, almost upper 50s. And I did order some fiberglass for the controls, but I haven't heard anything back from the company. Their online order was down. They said email them with what you're looking for. So I did, and they haven't replied yet. So I'll give them a call tomorrow, see if they got my email, and give them all the information they need to send me the stuff, as long as they didn't have a minimum order. It was only going to be like $50 for the fiberglass that I need to finish. I need about 6 yards. So, alright folks, as always, feel free to leave any comments, questions, or concerns. I'll answer them as they come through. And I hope everybody enjoys watching these updates. And again, appreciate everyone taking their time to watch the updates and commenting. Alright, for this week guys, this is Dino Don out.